this song. Hey there, welcome back to The Independence, known in Espanol as El Independence.
No, it's also
Sí, bueno. Unemployment insurance just expired for over... Don't laugh, this is really horrible. I'm talking about dying puppies.
Go.
No, I'm kidding. Unemployment insurance expired for over 1 million Americans, which sucks. But hey, free money. Some economists argue extending the benefits only prolonged the bad economy, making things much worse for job seekers. Others say it is our duty to care for those in need, especially during the holidays. Welcome our panel, Julie Braginski. She's a dyed-in-the-wool lefty. She's a Fox News contributor, and she is willing to fight and bleed for the causes she holds dear. And Noah Rothman joins us. He's an editor and a conservative heartbreaker at Mediaite.com. Welcome to The Independence, both of you. First time.
Thanks. Thank you.
Boing! That was popping the piece of fruit that shall go nameless. Indeed. Is unemployment insurance...
Kind of dirty.
No, because I didn't say it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let me do this.
We all thought it, though.
Sorry, Kevin. Okay, unemployment insurance.
Yes.
1.3 million Americans are losing it. Doesn't it really hurt poor people?
Actually, it really hurts the economy because those people will not have disposable income to spend. And where are they going to... I mean, they're not going to have access to anything. So they're going to end up getting on welfare, which is going to cost all of us money. They're going to end up not being able to spend the money they get from unemployment insurance, which means that it's going to be less money circling into the economy. And so it's bad all around for all of us, not just them.
Unemployment is a different transfer program than, say, some sort of welfare entitlement. But is it different in kind? I mean,
well, first of all
seriously?
of us pay money into the unemployment insurance fund.
Sure.
So it's not.
But if you extend it out indefinitely, then you're
it's
certainly...
indefinitely. But what are you going to do with these people when they're not? Let's say tomorrow they stop getting their $400 a month or whatever most of them get, which is I think on average about what they get, if not less. They're now not going to have money for basic needs, right? So they're going to have to either. So what's the solution?
One wonders if what you want is actually a national minimum income program.
Nope.
Why not just advocate for that?
Because that's not what I'm advocating. But look,
we are indefinitely extending this, and I'm actually not particularly hostile to this idea. Right? I understand. I think there may be some legitimacy to the notion that the particular brand of unemployment we're dealing with now is really, really difficult to address.
1 out of 3. I mean, there's one job opening for every 3 people looking for it.
It's really bad.
So it's not.
The unemployment number doesn't really give us the
before we
issue.
get in, I want to know, because that's the kind of statistic. Where do you get that statistic? Where does that come from?
I don't remember where I got the statistic, but it's actually a real statistic. And if it were 9 o'clock at night, I'd tell you. But I can tweet it out to you later. But it is.
That the unemployment,
look, we all know there are fewer jobs available.
So you're saying that there are fewer jobs than there are workers. But you cannot extend it indefinitely,
and
it's not being rude. It's not being cruel to say at some point this program must end. At
You're
first
absolutely
it was
right.
26 weeks, and then it was 99 weeks.
Correct.
And now it's 735 weeks.
But you're assuming. Well, wait a second. What are you proposing these people do?
I mean, you're assuming that these people are only going to go to bread lines, that they're only going to go to charity and
I'm
welfare
telling
and
you
everything
right
else,
now,
and
these people don't have a job to go to. I mean, if 1 out of every 3 jobs is available, I mean, where are the rest of these people going to go? These are long-term unemployed. It's harder and harder and harder for them to find a job.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, when they have nowhere else to go, and they're not getting unemployment insurance, we're going to end up paying for it.
Let's let Noah jump in
here. Well, that's why, I mean, you've identified a real impasse here. I mean, we've been talking about this for the better part of several years now, and there's an organizing principle on the left which says that you can introduce unemployment benefits into the economy and it has a multiplier effect. It ends up creating a lot more than you give back into the economy. But at the same time...
It's also called magical thinking.
But at the same time, in the next breath, they'll tell you that it's a mythology. There's this wild invention on the right that says that if you were to eliminate the unemployment insurance, or at least phase it out, that it's been creating this impression among people that they no longer have to work, or at least they can rely on some sort of insurance, that it doesn't create any jobs, it doesn't create any pressure on incomes or on profit margins, so they can't expand businesses. In Bloomberg, a couple of days ago, they just published a white paper from a pro-business think tank that says, the common sense notion that if you were to create more pressure on businesses to increase wages, it's going to create pressure on them to reduce profit margins, which reduces the incentive to expand, which means less jobs. We're amid a real chronic unemployment problem right now, and it's time to actually maybe do some radical things to address it, which could mean
and I don't know if Republicans have gotten this right, because, as we all know, necessity is the mother of invention. When you absolutely need to, you will find a way. And that goes for a lot of people, not for everybody. But I don't think the safety net is there for everybody. And, you know, there are some people, whether you like it or not, and I know we like to coddle the poor in this country and infantilize them to the point of, you know, total marginalization. But at some point...
Certainly not in perpetuity, yeah.
Well, wait a second.
But don't we coddle the rich, too? I mean, that's the thing that bothers me about this.
Here's what I love, right? We're not talking about getting rid of, I don't know, carried interest for people who are in hedge funds who are getting making 15%, paying a 15% tax rate, where the rest of us are paying a hell of a lot more. We're not talking about in the Farm Bill getting rid of these huge agri subsidies.
Well, actually, we are.
No, you guys may be. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the Republicans. You guys may be.
No,
but even
but
the Democrats have an opportunity
what you're
here.
talking
Why not
about,
be ready to go with $25 billion in cuts if that's what you need to save this program for a year?
Fine.
Just propose it at the same time. You know what Republicans are going to ask.
And that way, people, instead of having the program just swiftly end, you know, give people some leeway, give people some notice. So
well, they have noticed, but I mean, look, you have Democrats who are saying point blank, we have a way to pay for this. Get rid of carried interest. Republicans say no.
Yeah,
Get rid of these subsidies for
I think that's probably the wrong approach.
Why? Why is that?
Why not 15% across the board as opposed to getting rid of carried interest for this one point?
Because the rest of us, because the rest. Well, if you guys want to talk about a balanced budget, it can't be 15% for everybody. But you're talking about the rest of us pay the rest of. Well, if you want to reduce, but the rest of us are paying.
I want to reduce
20.
spending.
If you want to reduce spending, well, why don't you reduce it by doing that? I mean, that's a very good. You know,
we'll do this, that, and the other thing, and we're going to do it all
day. But you're talking about. But here you're talking about essentially punishing people who have absolutely no other recourse. These people are going to have nothing. You're taking their $400 away. Where are they? You're coddling them. They're going to be out on the street. What are they? What are you going to do with them?
It's always the worst case scenario, and it's always the darkest side of human nature. That's what drives me crazy about liberalism. It's always the worst case. People can't fend for themselves. People won't fend for them. You know, human nature is bad.
We have to take a break so we can move on to our next topic.